Facebook. If you are watching the replay, hello to you. I would love you to say hi in the comments, tell me who you are, if I don't know you already, because I like meeting new people. I am just sharing this broadcast out into my groups so that my group people don't miss out, because I don't like it when I go live and then people go, oh, I missed you live, I wish I'd seen it. So I'm just sharing this out to my groups so that those guys have a chance to come and see it. And I like testing the volume. Hi, Kimra. Carolyn, oh my goodness, it's been a long time since I've seen you. I am sharing to my group. Share. Sophie Tickle, hello. Well, we seem to have boosted into people. Hi, Kimra. Oh my goodness, you must be getting excited. How is the snow? So Kimra and I are swapping countries this week. I'm going to New York and she's coming here. Can't believe it. So yes, I am really hoping. I was emailed yesterday, offered to rebook my my flight because of the snow. And I know, I bet you are. I can't even believe that I'm going to miss you. It just seems ridiculous that I'm going to be leaving when you come here. So, one more group to share to, and then we are good to go. My first time, I know I'm not here. I can't believe it. Hi, Miriam. So, I'm just sharing to my free community. If you're not in my free community and you would like to join, come to businessbeyondbelief.com and you can join us. And today I'm going to talk about how to check in with yourself when fear is holding you back from doing something. Hi, Sharon. Yes, I know. We're like passing the baton to each other. So there we go. My sharing is done. Thank you for bearing with me while I did that. Welcome. If it's your first time here watching me, please say hi in the comments and let me know, because I like to be able to say hello to you and thank you for being here and watching. If you've seen me before, then some of what I say is going to be very familiar to you, and that's a good thing. It's a really good thing when my message is consistent and you know what I'm talking about because you've heard me say this before. I am distracted by the most ridiculously hilarious thumbnail freeze frame of myself on my screen, which I'm not going to look at. So, I've been having a lot of conversations with people this week, one-on-one, and I live streamed about this yesterday. Having one-on-one conversations is the best. Hi, Liz. I love one-to-one conversations. Like, really, truly, they are queen of everything. If you don't have the opportunity on a regular basis to speak to your clients on a one-to-one basis, create the opportunity. Because speaking to people is so much different than chatting and typing to people. Like, actually, when we're on video, this is why people love live streaming so much, because we get that connection. We get the feedback loop when we have one-on-one time. We get to ask questions. We get to really understand somebody's like feeling and zone and where they're at and really check in with it. So here's the thing I wanted to talk to you about is fear, because I've spoken to a lot of people this week who are held back in some way, all at varying levels of their business, but some of them are held back from doing things because of fear. And I really want to talk about that today, because that's such a huge thing, and it's something I have worked so deeply on overcoming in order to move myself forward, in order to grow my business, in order to do things in my life and take leaps and all the rest of it. So I want to talk to you about that. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. I'm going to tell you how I overcame a really big, scary fear. And then I'm going to tell you how to check in on it. So here's the thing. Back in it was the end of 2013, people often ask me how long I've been in my business. I started my business in 2009 when my daughter was a baby. But really, I was kind of coasting in my business until 2013, which is also when my husband joined the business. Because all of a sudden, it was real, and we really had to step up and make it work, because we were both full-time in there. Our whole family was depending on our business being a success at that point. So there was no more time to kind of kick our heels and just wait for things to happen. We had to make things happen. And it was really scary. Like, even thinking back to that time, I kind of feel that feeling that you get when it's kind of uncomfortable. And here's the thing with that feeling, is that feeling stops us. It tries to stop us. tries to tell us this is scary, it's not safe, you shouldn't do it, you know, do the safe thing. And 99% of people will listen to that feeling. 99% of people will go, okay, my heart's beating a little bit faster, my palms are kind of feeling clammy, I feel a bit gross and a bit sick, I can't do it, I'm just going to stay where I am. And that's totally fine to do that. Like, there is nothing wrong with staying as you are at all. It's completely okay, because where you are is fine, unless it's not. And then if you're being held back by fear, that's a real trap, and that's the bit that I want to help you push through. Hi, Vendela. So, at the end of 2013, for me, I was so ready. We'd had quite a, you know, if you look at it on a line graph, the business had kind of been going like this on a little bit of an incline, and in 2013 it just kind of, it really went up. And I didn't know, once we went up, that was great, but I didn't know, it flatlined again. So it went like, you know, slow rising, then it went, ooh, and then it just stayed still. And while that's what I thought I wanted, I realised that it didn't have to be like that. Like, there was actual, you know, there were people who were way more successful than me who'd achieved so much more, and there was so much more to play with and to experiment with and to step into. But it was really scary. I was really scared, and the fear was keeping me, as soon as the line, which is all in my head, there is no line, well, I'm sure there is in my accountant's records, but as soon as things start to feel like this, where you're like, I'm still here and it's fine, but I'd like to be up here a bit, then it's time to explore the fear that's holding you back. And that fear comes in all different shapes and sizes, and it comes for different reasons. But the thing that's really important about it is to really sit with it. When fear takes hold, or when fear comes to say hi or to check on you and see if you really mean it, if you really want this thing, if you're really ready for this next step, if you're really able to take on this extra stuff or broaden your being and absorb into this new space, it wants to just check in with you. And your job, your response should be to check in with it. So here's my story. As I say, when I'd reached this point, I was really pleased. I was really celebrating being at this point. But I knew that I had to do something else. I had to change something in order to get up again. And so I saw a message in a group from one of my mentors at the time, somebody I had been following very closely. I had taken one of her online programs, and I was really wowed by the work she was doing, and it had had an impact on my business. The program that I took really did have a big impact on that spike that we saw in 2013. And I saw her post in a group, quite a small group, that her program, her high-level coaching program, had one space left. And she wrote this post that went in that group that said, I know somebody in here needs this. I can feel like somebody in here needs it. And as soon as I started reading it, my heart was like, oh my God, it's me. Like, I felt like she was calling me out. I really felt like it was calling me out. Now, I don't know if this was an intuitive nudge that she took, or if this was clever marketing. I don't know what it was, but I liked it. Whatever it was, it really spoke to me, and it really kind of, my heart was racing, my mouth was dry, I had that I can literally drum that up in my body right now, like that feeling of, oh my God, it's for me, I know it's for me. I had no idea what the investment was to work in this capacity, but I knew that my this business wasn't in a position to go, oh yeah, let's make that investment. Like, it wasn't a no-brainer investment, financially speaking. And yet, before I even spoke to her to find out if it was an investment I wanted to make for the growth of my business, imagine that finances weren't even an issue. I didn't even need to see if it was a fit. I didn't even need to get on the phone to say, well, what are the details and what does it look like and what's the structure? I didn't need any of that because I knew. I just knew this was the thing that I wanted to do. And I was so clear on that immediately I made up a figure in my head of how much it was going to cost, and I started trying to put the gears in place to try and figure out how I was going to make that work. And that's when the fear kicked in. All the voices going, but you can't do this. You know, who do you think you are? You've already had this. Hi, Rochelle, no problem. Thank you for being there. Who do you think you are? like thinking that you can step into this. Like, why do you need this? You're perfectly fine where you are. And I was justifying it all. It was literally like there were a complete conference going on in my head of all these people sitting around a table like deciding for me whether it was good or not. And that was fear. That was fear showing up. And I could justify it all ways round. But all the voices that were going on around this table, this imaginary table, were all saying, don't do it. Like, it's expensive and it's scary and it's way bigger than you are. And I went for a walk by the sea. That's my thing that I do when I'm in that zone. When I feel that kick in, and I didn't know this then. I didn't have a strategy for this then. That was probably the first, well, it was the second time I'd done it, but it was the first time at that level. I went for a walk by the sea, and my dad came and met me, and I just blurted it all out to him. And people at that point didn't really understand my online business. And I remember walking along the beach and just saying, holy shit, I need to do this. I don't know how much it is. I was waiting. I'd emailed her, because straight away as soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm emailing. I was like, look, I don't know how much this is. I almost don't want you to tell me. I know it's for me. I really want to make this work. And I told Dad about it, and he was just like, well, we're going to have to make it work. And I was like, I really don't know what to do, but I really want to do it. And in that time while we were walking and hearing myself say it out loud, and here's the big hint that I'm about to tell you about, hearing myself voice it out loud, I was able to cut the board meeting that was going on in my head. I was able to kind of flick them off one by one from sitting around that table. And I was able to check in with me as to what I really wanted. Like, did I really believe this was going to get me, you know, from, remember, I've had the trickle, I've had the peak here, and now I'm sort of plateauing again. And plateauing up here was not an uncomfortable place to be. That was a really great, really proud achievement. I was so happy to be there. But I could still see another peak, and I always will be able to see those. And this is why I can understand how people like Richard Branson and all the big, massive, multi-passionate, enthusiastic, energetic entrepreneurs keep on going, because it's not about money. It's not about money at all. Dad's here. Hi. My dad's here. I was just talking about my dad. Dad, I was just talking about our walk at Seaview when I was talking about the high-level coaching and how I was feeling about it. So, in that time while we were on that walk, and I was saying to my dad, I don't know how to make it happen, I got the email back that told me how much it was. And the investment was $20,000. And that same year, 6 months previous, I had invested in my first ever online purchase for my business of a program which had been $2,000. I'm feeling warm, like, just talking about this, because I remember, like, whoa, that feeling. I had made, I think it was the February of that year, I had made, hi Kelly, hi Khaled. I had made my first scary leap at a point where I honestly did not know how I was going to pay rent each month. I had invested in an online program that gave me access to a community of like-minded people, and I made that work. That was a really scary leap, $2,000. Fast forward 7 months, and I'm now having a conversation with somebody about how I'm going to invest $20,000. I did not have $20,000 in my business at that time. Don't get me wrong. I did not have $20,000 sat in my bank ready to pay for this. And as soon as I saw it, I wanted to throw up because it was gross and scary. But again, once I had the number, it's a bit like people who hide their head in the sand and don't want to look at their finances or their bank statement or their credit card statement or all those kind of things. As soon as you look at it, and as soon as you put a plan in place, you can put one foot in front of the other, right? So this was exactly what happened to me. As soon as I had a figure, as soon as I had a number, I was past that. And it was no longer about the money. I was back to the place of, what made me reach out in the first place, which is, money aside, if money was no object, is this what I need? And it was a whole, my friend Elena Lipson talks about whole body yes. And I love that so much. It was a whole body yes. Everything in me was moving me towards it. Everything in me was saying, do it. This is going to be the thing. You are going to have the best year in your business. This is how you're going to get from, you know, we've done this, we've done that, we're now here. This is where we're going to go here. And I swear to goodness, I signed that contract. I made my first payment. I paid monthly over a period of 10 months. So it was $2,000 a month for 10 months. And I never missed a payment. I never missed a payment. I had no idea where that money was going to come from. But it came because I stepped up. And as soon as I stepped up, by the end of the time when those payments were going out, I wasn't even thinking about them going out. It wasn't even like, you know, the first couple of months I was like, oh God, I'm going to be paying the payment soon and I don't know where it's coming from. It always came in the nick of time. And I swear to goodness, it was because I stepped up and went, I'm in for this. I'm totally in for this. Count me in. And it was the best decision I ever made because my business exploded after that. Being at that level and getting those introductions and being seen as somebody who is being coached at that level gave me access and opened doors like I could never have imagined before. And I'm so glad I did it, but my goodness, did I have to get uncomfortable in order to be able to take that action and move forward and actually get through the gate. And I share that story with you because this week I've had so many conversations. I say so many, I've probably had four conversations where people are held in the same position I was in. And I understand that feeling so clearly. I really do. I just get it. I know how it feels. I know that whole body feeling. And I just want to tell you to check in with yourself. Like, take yourself away from your computer. Change your environment. Make sure you've drunk enough water, firstly. So you have to take care of yourself. 100%. And this is a whole other live stream. But if you're not taking care of yourself, like in terms of hydration, good food that you need, that your body is craving, and moving your body and getting fresh air and all those good things, you can't make sound decisions because you can't check in with your body. And as soon as you check in to just think, right, how does this decision feel in my body? If there's any part of you that's going, no, there's something holding me back, then it's not right for you. And that's how you know. Everything else, if it's only the financial leap that's making things scary for you, that's something you can solve easily. And especially if it's about making a decision about stepping up to higher level of operating and being and thinking, because being in that zone and operating at that level is going to help you to generate. So the only thing I would say, the only advice, I would never recommend anybody to go stupidly in debt or put anything, no problem, see you later, Miriam. I would never recommend to people to go and put themselves in a vulnerable decision to make any investment. So let me just make that really, really clear. But if you are an entrepreneur and if you have the tools at your disposal to launch a product, up the prices of your services, get one new client a month to cover whatever it is you're looking at investing in, that stuff is all totally possible. And that's your opportunity for growth. And that's what I wanted to share. So if fear is holding you back from growing to the next level, and this isn't all about making financial investments, that was just my example that I wanted to talk about because it's the conversation I've been having with people this week and it felt like a theme that I wanted to address. It could be all kinds of things. Like, people get held back by fear of all kinds of things. It doesn't just have to be money. It's a great context to apply to anything else that's holding you back. I am actually, at the moment, I have been writing a quiz to help you make good decisions in your business. And I have been mapping it out. We've sat on the sofa, I think it was Saturday. It's all here, all written down. And we're going to put it into an interactive format where you can go anytime you're going, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to make this decision or not. It feels scary. Somebody help me make the right decision. That's me. I do that all the time. I always bounce my decisions off other people. Then you'll be able to come to the quiz and kind of feel it out and see what feels good for you. But my biggest resource, and the one that if you're in that situation right now, is just take a break, clear your head, talk to somebody if you need to, talk it out loud. I even find hearing myself say it out loud, even if I'm just recording a video of myself for only me to look back on, like a diary or an audio note, sometimes hearing yourself vocalize it, you go, oh, I know what I need to do. And that's how you trust yourself to make good decisions. And that's how you deal with fear. Because the thing is, fear only comes from not knowing what's going to happen. So once you make a decision, either yes or no, fear goes away. It's just whether you want to acknowledge and delve deeper into the fear to see, is this fear something actually keeping me safe? Or is this fear an upper limit of some kind that's designed to just test if I really am ready for this next step? And that's the question you need to ask yourself. Just anytime you feel that feeling, just check in and be like, right, is this serving me to feel this way? Do I need to feel this way? And what's the quickest way out of it? Because as soon as you can get, like my friend Melanie Bundock, she would say that her objective is to get back to normal. Because once you get to normal and you feel ease about things, then you can decide what's next and get to the next level and up and up and up in your emotional state. And I like that ladder. I like that letter. So I hope this was helpful. If you're watching the replay, please leave me a comment and let me know you watched, because I do love reading the comments, especially when I go live this time of day, because it's kind of school pickup time now here. And then I go offline for a few hours after this. And when I come back and I see all the comments, I'm like, yay, people watched and it had an impact. So it really does make a difference when you show up and you say hi on people's live streams. Not just mine, but anybody's you watch. I have people sometimes who message me who say, oh, I saw your live stream on XYZ and it really had a massive impact on me. I went and I did this and that and everything else and all these things happened. I'm like, why didn't you say hello? I didn't even know you watched that live stream. So just know, if you are somebody who live streams, you never know who's watching. And if you are somebody who watches live streams, the people who are broadcasting love when you leave comments, even if it's on the replay. So on that note, I'm going to go. If you liked this, please feel free to share it with your business buddies. If you have groups, if you are in a group where this would be helpful, you can go ahead and click the share button that's underneath the video, and you can share it to your timeline, you can share it on your page, you can share it in a group. And I will be back very soon to talk to you about what's next. See you later.